Hey guys, just taking a walk out here to the camera. Thought I would fill everybody in on what's been going on here the past couple days. Uh, Yesterday, right before I was getting ready to go to work, my neighbor stopped by, said that he saw someone in my field. He thought it was me, but he saw a guy walking right through both of my fields across the road from the house. And he went and confronted him and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" He was out at the park, and the guy said, "Oh, I was just walking." And the guy said, "Oh, I was just walking on the trail." I said, "That's not a trail. That's my neighbor's property, and he don't want you on it." And he said, "Well, I've been walking that for 40 years." He said, "It doesn't matter." So then he drove down to my house, told me what was going on. And I said, "Thank you for telling me." And I drove out there and met up with that guy, and he was trying to ignore me. So I said, "Excuse me." Around. I said, "Are you the guy walking on my property?" He said, "Yeah, I was." He said, "Yeah, I was just making the loop." I said, "That's not the loop." I said, "There's plenty of trails here on the park. You don't need to be on my property, because if he gets hurt on my property, I'm liable. And there's plenty of trails on the park anyway." And he kind of was giving me a little attitude about it. And I said, "Listen, there's plenty of trails here. Please do not walk on my property. Just stay on these trails here. I'd really appreciate it." And he went, "Okay," like that. And that was the end of that. So that was yesterday. This morning, I was working on our side porch because most of you know we're getting ready for the siding job to happen on Monday. And I'm trying to finish things up. Next thing I know, some little guy comes walking in my side yard, smoking a cigarette. Turns out he was out at the point. And he goes, "Hey, you mind coming out and giving me a jump? My truck's battery's dead." So I stood there for a second. I said, "Okay, let me go get my keys." So I go in the house, I come back out. I said, "I don't have any jumper cables, do you?" He says, "No, I don't have any either." Hold on, my arm's getting tired. I said, "Well, I don't know how I can help you." And then he said, "Well, how about we take your truck and we'll switch out the batteries and that'll get me going." I said, "I'm not doing that. Sorry, man. Ain't happening." So then he came up with another idea. He said, "How about an old extension cord? We'll just use that instead of jumper cables." I said, "I don't have any old extension cords. I'm not doing that." He said, "Well, I think I got one." I said, "I'm not going to help you, buddy. I'm sorry." Because he also filled me in on the fact he was down. He lost all of his minutes on his phone, so he couldn't call a tow truck or anything. So this all sounded real fishy to me. Let's see. So I said, "I'm sorry, man. I can't help you." So then he's like, "Oh, you can't help me, huh?" I said, "No, I'm sorry." So he starts walking down my yard. He goes, "God will judge you in the end." And immediately when he said that, it just triggered me. I said, "Get off my property now, or else I'm calling the police." And when I said that, he's like, "Go ahead, call the police. Maybe they'll give me a tow." He also filled me in that his girlfriend was out in the truck and she was freezing because they came out here to watch the sun come up this morning. Let me show you what kind of day it is. I'm getting rained on as we speak. It's been this way all morning. But they came out here to watch the sun come up. So his story just seemed as sketchy as could be. Here, I'm at the camera now. I'm going to switch out the cards. And so I told him, I said, "Get off the property." And he kept looking back, running his mouth at me. I said, "Get out of here." I said, "I'm calling the police." So I did. I called the sheriff's office and they sent a guy out and they went out to meet out there with him. Next thing I know, there's another sheriff deputy coming out and they ended up arresting his girlfriend for drugs. Not him, though. He did not get arrested. Let's see if this camera is going to work. He did not get arrested. It was just his girlfriend. And as far as I know, he's gone now. But this is what I'm talking about with the Trespassers. I made that video there this past winter. And since I had the sheriff deputies out there with me, I had to write a statement and everything. I asked the woman sheriff deputy, I said, what else can I do to prevent this or to deal with this? She said, you need to post your property. And as all of you know, I have posted my property. And I'm going to take it even a step further. I am going to post everything. I mean, we're going to do it in depth. We're going to make sure they're the proper footage apart, everything. I said, well, I've already done that. She said, well, if someone's on your property, you need to tell them that you don't want it on. You don't want them on your property. I said, well, I did that yesterday with that guy. I said, what happens if he comes back? She says, if you've already told him that you don't want him, you got your property posted, the next thing you do is you call us, and then they will press charges. And I believe the fine, I'll have to look back at that video that I did. I think it's $5,000 that they can fine them for being on my property. But, I mean, as a property owner, you have to protect yourself. Because if he's walking in my fields, he trips and falls, breaks his ankle, I guess he could sue me. And as a property owner, you have to protect yourself from that. People have no respect. Just like that guy walking down in my yard. I mean, he's able to look inside the house with that sliding glass door. He could have yelled at me from the road, you know. I wasn't raised like that. I was raised to stay on your own property, to not touch other people's cars and all that stuff. But that's what we've been dealing with. I got nothing done this morning on the house like I was planning on doing. You got less than a week till the Amish are coming to work on the house. It's just been a bad day, bad couple days. But I just wanted to fill you guys in on that, and I wanted to fill you in on what the sheriff deputy told me how to deal with it. Post your property, and then if you see somebody, tell them to get off. If they don't get off your property, call the police, and then they'll deal with it. And I asked her, what about if I catch them on trail camera? And if you catch them on trail camera, you can call them, the police then too. So we're going to be, like I said, we're going to be posting the property extra heavy. We're going to have signs everywhere, even more than we have now. And I'm going to put up some trail cameras and try to catch this guy, because I don't think he's going to listen to me. Because he told me, he said, I've been walking that trail for 40 years. I said, well, that ain't a trail, that's a field. And you ain't going to do it anymore, because I'm the one paying the mortgage on the place and the taxes. It's mine. Sorry. You know, I even started feeling bad about it yesterday when I went to work. I'm like, maybe he's just a nice guy, just likes to go for walks. But I got to thinking, he's not a nice guy, because he doesn't have any respect for me and my property. He knows that's not the park's. And so we're just trying to deal with what's going on around the place. And there's nothing, even the sheriff deputy, she told me, she said, I know there's nothing good going on back at that park, because people go back there all hours of the night. And a lot of drug dealings and stuff, just like that guy's girlfriend. She got busted for drugs. You know, I don't want my wife and kids around this stuff. Hopefully they end up putting up a gate, because we don't need people going back there all hours of the night. If they're going back there at 2 in the morning, they sure enough did any good. But we're back at the house now, so I will try to show you what I've been working on this week, because I'm probably not going to get a video out. We probably won't get a video till we get the siding done. Let me show you this side porch here. Let me see if I flip this around. Okay, so that's what I've been working on. We're going to go with an open ceiling, and I'm getting rid of these old rafters here. A lot of them were in really bad shape. So I'm replacing them with new ones. We'll paint them white, and then the new siding will go up all the way to the top there. And then we'll do tongue and groove ceiling, I think, on this side porch. That's what I was working on this morning before I was interrupted. Then I'll take you around to the other side of the house real quick, and I'll show you what I worked on the day before. Or no, yesterday. It was yesterday. Before my trespasser came along, I was installing this side door. I'll show you that real quick. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Eddie. The world has changed, and not for the good. You can't trust anybody, and that's what I told that guy this morning. He said, "You can't even come and give me a jump." I said, "No, I can't." I said, "For one, you're telling me a pretty sketchy story, and you're looking sketchy yourself. You can't trust anybody this day and age." And that's what I told him. He didn't like it. But hey, you know, how was I supposed to know? That park is like a half a mile away from my house. There's nothing else out there. How was I supposed to know that he wasn't alone with his girlfriend, that he wasn't with a group of guys out there waiting to jump me? You don't know anymore. Okay, let me flip you around here. And there is our new door. New side door. I installed that yesterday. Now Kelsey will paint that black and make it match the front door. And that is pretty much everything done on this side except for taking down the gutters. They're going to take down the soffit up there. It's hanging down. But that'll be everything done on this side. So I've got a few more windows to tape up, and got to get that other side porch done. Hopefully I can get to that tomorrow. Hopefully I'm not interrupted by another trespasser. But look forward to that video, because I'm going to be hitting that pretty hard. That's 2 days in a row we've dealt with 2 different trespassers, and just, you know, I don't want that stuff around on the property. But I thought I'd go live, fill you guys in, because I'm not going to get a video in this week. I'm just too busy. But Monday, Tuesday, the Amish are coming. They're going to put the new siding up. If I can, I'll try to film that. If not, I will just go at the end of the day when they leave Monday, film a little bit, maybe fly the drone around, and then I'll do the same thing on Tuesday when it's all done. No, Victoria, I have not made, the only video I've made of trespassers is when I was posting my property. And I even posted it on that side where that guy came from. Let me walk you over there. I'll try to show you, because it's hard for me to keep track of that field. If it wasn't for my neighbor telling me this, I wouldn't even know there was a trespasser over there. But this field here is across the road. See, there's a house behind me. Let me flip you around. Okay, see that field over there? That's mine. That's where he came from, out of the woods over there. And let me keep walking down here. That house is not mine, but I own the fields around it. He ended up coming out of those woods over there and down the field and crossed over this little run down here in the bottom, right down there. Okay, he crossed that run down there and then walked up that field, clear up to the top of that hill, and then back out to the park. So that's what he did, and there's absolutely no reason. And you have to know that that's not the park's property. So he knew what he was doing. But if it wasn't for my neighbor coming and telling me that, I never would have seen him, because you can't see these fields from the house. But yeah, Eddie, the house is looking better. Yeah, I can't wait to get the siding on it next week. Just got to make sure I'm ready. But it's starting to rain on me harder now. I just wanted to fill you guys in on that, and then give you guys any tips if you're having the same trouble. Like I said, what the sheriff deputy told me, I'll say it one more time in case you missed it. if you have trespassers and you want to get rid of them, make sure your property is posted, 1. 2, go up and tell them that you don't want them on your property. 3, if they still don't leave, that's when you call your sheriff, your county sheriff or whatever, and then they'll handle it, and they should fine them for being on your property. And trail camera, if you get them on trail camera, that should work too. So we'll try to get you some video of the sighting going up next week. I thank you all for watching. Thanks for listening to me rant for a little bit. I've had a bad couple days. I'm sorry. But until next time, everybody, thanks for watching.